All right, let's try it again. Welcome to another Woods Report.
Okay. It froze on us?
No, hopefully it's not frozen. Ooh, modern technology, boy.
Well, maybe it come a time where systems are all shut down.
No, there it is. Okay.
And somebody may hack our systems and
we'll be on in Russia come live, right? When we talking, Putin's face will come in there.
I will get you, America.
We interrupt the Woods Report. We're not even that big.
Anybody's report.
Right. Everybody's report. And all the systems will go down. And hopefully y'all would have gone to our prepping channel and prepped, ready for it when the grid goes down.
I forgot you had a whole step-by-step on when the grid goes down.
When the grid goes down, to be ready for it. So,
all
right. So let's try it again. So we were going to do the show where we're going to do affirmative action and voter suppression.
We started talking about it a little bit yesterday.
But that's too much to do it all in one.
Because you ended with Clarence Thomas being one of your donkeys of the day.
Charlemagne made him a donkey of the day yesterday, which he was. He still is.
That's a comedy man.
He still is. Yeah, he's a donkey of the day. But that was the start of yesterday's show. So this time I think we'll just concentrate on affirmative action.
Oh, yeah, because they talked about it on The View. So I wanted to
let's see if it'll work now.
If they play the video, is it coming? Where three Supreme Court judges made a comment.
Okay.
And they just kind of showed them making that comment. So is it showing? Because I can read I can read their comments because I wrote them down verbatim.
Yeah, because it's not
like the newest one, Justice Ketanji Brown Jackson. She's stating with the whole affirmative action situation, the university is not requiring anybody to give their race at the beginning.
Okay. When
you give your race, you're not getting any special points. No one's automatically getting in because of race is being used, because their race is being used. So
people don't understand how affirmative action works.
I know. And I was telling my sister, I said, they're changing. You notice when you're filling out these applications, they're changing where you have the option. It's optional to even put your race.
Right.
So there were times where the schools, we're talking about schools specifically, not other places of businesses. Schools, they needed to have the playing field for every race, every ethnicity come in that school, be accepted in that school, as well as women. Because there was a time women couldn't even go. And all men, it's a whole male, it's a man's world, like James Brown said. It's a man's world. And they had to make sure there was counts was there, that they was legitimately taking view of how many ethnic groups were being inclusive. So she's saying that now it's optional. You don't even have to say your race when you're going to a school, when you're entering to a school. They don't know if you're Black, Hispanic, or anything.
Right.
So that was her comment. Justice Elena Kagan, she said this: I thought that part of what it meant to be an American and to believe in American pluralism is that actually our institutions are reflective of who we are as a people in all of our variety. So
she's saying diversity,
which
Clarence Thomas don't know the definition of.
His comment, because it was just three of them they talked about.
He's so stupid.
I heard the word diversity quite a few times, and I don't have a clue what it means.
Because you got Uncle Tom.
It seems to mean everything for everyone.
Yeah, because he's an Uncle Thomas. That's like saying you're a house Negro. What? Hey, somebody please explain to me what freedom is. That's what a house Negro would say.
I don't understand.
Can somebody look? I wake up, I sleep in the bed, I eat, I go to bed, I feed my kids. When it rains, I have a roof over my head. When it snows, I have a roof over my head.
Okay.
The master put logs in the fire. We stay warm in the wintertime. I have clothes. Can someone explain to me what is freedom?
Okay.
That's a house Negro. He don't understand. Why would I go out and be worse than where I am right now?
But he turns a whole 180 degrees, because Joy read what he said in 1983.
Yeah, they always change their mind once they get
1983, when he was a chairman of EEOC, he said, "It is my view that too much posturing has taken place on issues such as affirmative action, which are critical to minorities and women."
So he knew what affirmative action was then.
But no, because he said diversity.
Right. Oh, I'm sorry, diversity.
But for them, God only knows. But for them, God only knows where I would be today.
What happened to him is he was butthurt, and he went to Yale, and white people kept telling him, if you read his book, you only here because you black.
Ooh. And
so he got mad because people kept saying the only reason why you're here is because you're black.
We had to meet the numbers.
So we had a quota. You had to come in.
You had to fit the quota.
That's why you're here. So he's upset, and he thinks all the black kids and all the country feels like him. That they don't want to feel like black people just coming up to them saying you only here because you're black.
You're only here because you're black.
So he thinks
white people will remind us.
Yeah. But for some reason, and this is why when we was debating yesterday about affirmative action, people think affirmative action means you go, you fill out an application, you put black, and then they say shuffle the application.
Yeah, we need 5 black people.
And then we need 5 black people. So let's pull off 5. We only got room for 10 people.
Double minority, a black woman.
Yeah, we only got room for 10 people, and 5 of them got to be black. So I got 10 applications here. I don't care how many of them are white. I'm going to pull out 5.
How they graded.
I'm going to pull out 5 black applications. That's how white people in this country and conservative people in this country think that's how it works. And so that's why they'll say, oh, you taking the spot of somebody that's white.
Right. That could
because you're black.
Right.
Rather than say, both people scored 100 on their test, right? This white guy scored 100 on his test. This black person scored 100 on their test. The black person's essay that's kind of what the black, what's her name, was saying, the Supreme Court Justice.
Yeah.
The black person on their test said, I would be the first person in my family to go to college. We wasn't even allowed into this school back when my mother and my grandmother was in school. They didn't allow black people in North Carolina State. So North Carolina University. So because of that, this would be something that would be different for my family versus a white guy who scored the same exact thing and his essay may not be as inspiring as that black guy. They're going to give it to the black person because they want diversity there. They agree with the thing that they wrote out, their thing that they talking about.
They tested it,
and they also tested right. So Clarence Thomas, or Uncle Thomas, he thinks that black people are going to be ridiculed for being at Harvard and all these different schools, and that white kids are just going to be walking around saying you only there because you black. You know how you prove them wrong? By testing high in your classes. The tests aren't determined by your race. They don't give black kids a test and give white kids a test in the same university. Y'all all get the same test.
Okay.
So how you do at the university depends on how you stay at the university.
I know, because they were going back and forth with, I know Sunny said she was, as far as affirmative action, she believes helped her. They were very poor.
It definitely helped me.
And it helped her get across. But she was reading.
I got into DePaul because of affirmative action.
It was funny because she was reading some stats. Sarah was reading some recent stats about, she spoke about the EEOC program where she received an educational opportunity, looked at statistics.
Who is this, Sunny?
This is Sunny.
Okay.
Now, she's quoted something from the APIA, which I need to know what that stands for.
That's
what
the Asians. The Asian
voted,
people.
Okay, voted the majority of Asian Americans support race-conscious admission.
Yeah, most 65% of Asian people support affirmative action.
Now, she went through her numbers. Koreans 82, Indians 80, Asian American 80. Sarah said Our recent study, though.
Sarah or Sonny?
Sarah.
Okay.
She had to go again. She had to come back, Sonny, and say, Sonny said, well, those are just numbers that I found.
Right, right.
Not that they're etched in stone, not that they just something that I found as a study. Sarah said for a recent study, though, they talked to this pupil update, conflicts with what Sonny was saying. She said, the majority of Americans across racial and ethnic and partisan groups, they're saying kind of like what Justice Quintana is saying, as far as changing they're trying to change the narrative on how they feel they should be accepted in schools, not in businesses and other stuff.
Right, right.
School. We're talking about Harvard, for example. They said a lot of them feel like it should be factored in the college acceptance as far as high school grades, community service, if you're the first to go to school in your family. She said those percentages scored high is Hispanics, is 68% who feel that way. Black adults, 59%. And Spanish Americans, 68%. So she's saying the narrative is changing. She had to challenge Sonny. A lot of people are not, you're thinking those numbers are high in the Asian group, but a lot of them are not, they're feeling like, don't even come at our race. Do how well our GPA is.
They are.
Well, here's the thing.
But
here's the thing that Sonny had to bring up
all
to the
that
table.
Is in factor.
No, I'm just saying here's where the argument was lying with the ladies.
Yeah.
They had to go back to the Blum guy, Edward Blum.
Okay.
He's the one that's kind of starting this.
Who is he?
She said he's a conservative activist who claims to be an advocate for Asian Americans, backed by dark money by the far right. And he was behind the Fisher versus Texas case, which took the first swipe at affirmative action, which stated that white women were being discriminated. He's using a small group of Asian Americans
to stand in front of the
thing and say, "Hey, affirmative action."
But
they're not getting in.
The problem is
so
that
he's a cause of all of this.
The problem is that that was what he used to get in front of the Supreme Court. But if you watch the Supreme Court hearings, they didn't even bring up the Asian Americans. See? So in other words, you used them to get through the door. Mm-hmm. And then once you got through the door, you threw them to the side. They wasn't really what your whole objective was. Because if that was your agenda, you would have talked about Asian Americans all while you was talking in front of the Supreme Court. Yeah. You didn't even bring them up. So he used them to get in front of the door and in the door, but he didn't make their case when he got there. Mm-hmm. He used the Asian Americans. Mm-hmm. So they should have learned their lesson and not supported or went that route. If you want to see a change, again, I always tell people, when you take something away, you got to replace it with something. So, everything. If you're going to take something away, nobody wants affirmative action. Nobody wakes up. No, I'm talking about in general. We don't wake up. We don't have to have it, do we? No one wants that. Who wants that? Who wants to say, hey, I want this into place because of in case of racist people that's above. No, not even that. It's we've noticed on your habit and how you've been hiring that you haven't been given every. We don't want it on any other thing. Nobody wakes up and says that. Yes. But until you balance that playing field, you have to have those things into play. And here's the thing: start young. They always keep talking about college. Until you start where you balancing the playing field on the schools, where we see from K through 12, where the books are the same, the level of education is the same. But let me knock you on that one. And Sarah brought up a good point. She said, keep in mind, we're talking about Harvard. Harvard already has a high playing field. Exactly. Majority of the kids go there, got money. You have to have money. She said, if we need to, well, no, not even unless that. No. She's saying that they're rich. It's the legacy problem there. Yeah, unless you have 70% of their students is legacy. Yeah. She said, get rid of that. Yeah. Another thing Sarah talked about, and this has been dealing with the whole Harvard thing, because they're talking about Harvard donors. Harvard has donors and legacy in their pockets. A black kid in the inner city, a Latino kid in the inner city, they don't really have a chance, do they? No. When they're competing with 70% of their students
having being there because of a legacy.
Wow.
So she was saying that's one thing. We're talking about Harvard.
Yeah.
That's one thing you need to probably look into. The playing field would never be even.
And then the University
even with affirmative action.
University of North Carolina.
Yeah.
But anyway, the bottom line is it's going to be it's not that something is being overturned.
Yeah.
It's that those two facilities can't do it anymore. That's pretty much what they're going to judge on.
Stop it.
It's going to happen because it's 6-3. It's 6 conservative judges versus 3.
So that means Harvard cannot have kids entered in of affirmative action.
Yeah, because
what's in place.
Right.
Currently.
What's in place currently.
Wow.
Now, what I was reading that there actually is a case for Asian kids because Harvard does something different than every other school does as far as how they judge that. And that was the real argument that they were supposed to put in front of the Supreme Court.
You talking about the
not testing, the way that if you check off Asian or whatever, it's a way that they do discriminate against them. So that's what the protest was for. And that's what they should have been arguing in front of the Supreme Court people? But that's not the conservative agenda. But they want to make America great again. They want us to go back to the 1950s.
The good old white boys.
And the black people, I don't get the black people who, you can be Republican and be black. It doesn't mean that you are a house Negro or Uncle Tom.
Right.
But when you start arguing points that are racial as far as things that have progressed black people, I'm not talking about handouts and stuff like that, welfare handouts, all of that.
Right.
Then I question whether you have a full view of what it's like to be black in this country. And most of them don't. Ask most of them. They don't volunteer in the neighborhoods that they talking about.
In those communities.
They don't even know what's going on in the schools. A lot of them they have no clue.
Even the lady when Comeover was in there, the lady he put in charge of the education.
Oh, yeah.
She had no clue.
No clue.
Right.
And so when they make these comments about, we don't want handouts, we don't want people to see us as black, we want to be just like everybody else and all this other stuff.
Right.
They the same people who don't even know what's going on outside of their own little neighborhood.
I appreciated when Colin Powell was alive.
Yeah.
And he spoke about affirmative action and
Colin
how that helped him.
And also Condoleezza Rice.
Yes.
Colin Powell was a black conservative Republican who actually had connections in the inner city because his wife was a civil rights activist and things like that. Right. So he understood those things. Yes. You don't have to give up one to be the other.
Exactly.
And for some reason, I don't know why black people who are Republican think they do.
It's like you like the horse with the things on where you don't blinders on where you don't even see anything happening in the inner cities and the struggles and the concerns there.
And you don't see that one thing affects another thing, how they do carve out the neighborhoods to depend on what school you go to.
Yes.
They redefine. If it's too many black kids in one school, they say, "Oh, hold on. The council says we gotta remap this thing here. It's too many black people over here."
Yeah.
And then they remap it, and then it's one black kid left in the school.
I know.
And then one thing affects another. So then you say, well, black people, y'all can move in those neighborhoods. So then you go house hunting as a black family. Yeah. And then the white family don't want to sell to you.
Remember the Raisin in the Sun? What was that whole story about them getting ready to buy a home?
We house hunting now. And you should see some of the people when we pull up. In some of the nice neighborhoods. I'll say it. They look like this one lady, she almost broke her neck. Like, what the heck? Who is
black family moving in? Yeah. Yeah. And that's so sad because Raisin in the Sun, how old was that movie with Sidney Poitier? But to and
you also have some white people who do smile. They happy. They want you. They overcrowded. Which one of you are moving
too much.
They on the liberal side.
Yes.
That's the ones. That's why I said
Democrats, diversity.
Democrats and Republicans are destroying this country because then you have the liberals. The Democrats are two on the other side. You letting Jamal stay in the house. You got an extra bedroom. Oh, no. You don't know who the hell Jamal is.
Why you got to say Jamal, man? You could have had any black name.
He
been in say Jamal.
Jamal from the hood. He been and clunked you over your head, took all y'all money, and then y'all mad because y'all let this Negro stay in y'all extra bedroom.
But I get
because you want to give somebody a hand up.
I know.
Get out of here.
But I get it. There people are having different views on what's going on with this whole affirmative action. They're so afraid it's going to happen. Away.
So let's talk about now. Maybe black people to start putting more emphasis and money into HBCUs.
We see our vice president is a graduate
because
from there.
That's what's going to happen. Mm-hmm. So let's start supporting. We've been saying that
supporting our
HBCUs,
and
let's start putting money and attention into that, and stop being upset with Jewish people for doing that because they put money into their schools.
Yeah, they do. Yeah.
So start looking at that as a roadmap to, okay, this is a kind of a roadmap of what you want to become.
You want to put money into the schools because you want to pay even the educators and the professors and the instructors top level.
Yeah.
You want to pay them well,
and you want to make sure, and you want to make sure that African American studies is there.
Yes.
It's not taken away, and so that real history is still taught.
Who's to say this is not shaking some trees?
We have to
for things to happen.
It's going to happen
for us to sit back and go, you know what? We need to really pay attention to what we do have in place. My mom, they can never talk about going the schools being desegregated. It was segregated.
My mother actually liked going to all black schools.
They knew all their black friends, their black teachers, their black professors.
Ma, you here? When you went to a black school, your teachers were more attentive to you, weren't they? They made sure because you are a legacy to them.
Yes.
So you ain't gonna be in there acting no fool and acting stupid and coming when you want to and not paying attention. That makes them look bad too. Because you was a legacy. You was a direct legacy to them.
Yeah.
And you stood on their shoulders, so they pushing you ahead. Like my mom said, respect. Yeah. So if that's what it takes,
strictness.
If that's what it takes for y'all to get back to the way it used to be, I don't have a problem. Go ahead on and overturn it because that's what they're going to do anyway.
You think they're going to do it?
Well, it's not overturn it, but in these two situations where you can't do that. So maybe Howard is, which we call the Black Harvard.
Yeah.
Howard would get even more funding and even become more prestigious.
Okay.
So as hard as it is to
more focus to putting money into Harvard and Howard and the professors and the teachers and so forth.
And as hard as it is to get into Harvard, it would be hard to get into Howard.
Thank you.
So maybe that'll be what happens.
So this was a good discussion because this is going to probably continue on and open up a lot of, dialogue and people back and forth. There's going to be, you're always going to have people that's not going to agree. With what's going on. It's going to
happen.
But it's going to happen.
And for those of you who didn't want to vote for Hillary Clinton because of her pantsuits and because you didn't like her, it's your fault.
Well,
your fault for overturning any Roe versus Wade or anything. Your fault for affirmative action cases coming up. Your fault for anything for women that come up in the future, any cases for that, your fault for anything that takes us back to 1950 because you didn't like Hillary Clinton and her pantsuits and you didn't like the way she acted. We got Trump, who put 3 Supreme Court justices into office.
Because that was one of the things that Whoopi had brought up as far as affirmative action.
You didn't like her pantsuit.
Is it opened the door for women?
Yes.
You forget, not just races, women.
Everybody keep thinking race. It's women too.
We got all men in this company, all men in this classroom. No, we want some women in here too.
Thank you.
They got brains just like y'all knuckleheads.
Thank you.
So, okay.
So let's go ahead. But again, I blame all of the ones who didn't like Hillary.
They not going to, especially those.
I don't care. I don't care. You didn't vote and that's what you got.
That's a hard one. Yeah.
And you want to still put Trump back in. People still want to. So again, I'm 54. I'm good. I don't affirmative action, abortion, all of those things don't directly affect me. I'm still going to live my life. If anything, money affects me more.
And if a door doesn't open for me, then it must mean I don't need to be there. You never know. Because we keep going back to our faith. Affirmative action not in place.
It don't matter.
In place.
If God wants you, If God wants you at Harvard, you will be at Harvard.
You will be at Harvard. You know?
I don't care if you black, brown, polka dot. If that's the school he wants you at, you'll be there.
That door will open. So, okay. All right.
Maybe that you're right. It'll push people more to God.
Yeah, because you need to depend on him to overcome even issues with man.
Yeah.
So, okay.
All right. Mariah Carey reveals she owns all of her master's recordings while teasing a miniseries based on her 2020 memoir. 5-time Grammy winner Mariah Carey actually owns all of her master recordings, including 86 singles and 15 studio albums dating back to 1990.
I wonder how she put this in place. Is this like other artists are not doing this?
When she signed her deal, she made sure she did it.
Oh,
the 53-year-old R&B diva made the revelation while discussing what actress could portray her in the upcoming small screen adaptation of her 2020 memoir. The meaning of Mariah Carey. I'm here to do anything we need to do. I own all my old masters. Mariah, who has sold over 220 million records globally, told USA Today on Tuesday. Smart.
How many other artists, I wonder? That's a survey I would like to put out there.
Oh, how many other ones?
How many other artists like her, like Beyonce, Jay-Z, do they own their own?
Beyonce does own, she owns a lot of her writing credits on. Her writing credits.
But not the masters.
I don't know. We have to find out how many of them she does.
So that's a good question.
But Mariah Carey does
like
own,
Madonna,
and she didn't say
any of them.
She didn't say a portion. She said all
of them.
So that's something she put into place.
Did Michael Jackson own all his? No, he didn't.
Nah, he didn't.
Okay.
So, but he, that's why he didn't have no money. He didn't get money till he started acquiring the Beatles. He owned the Beatles. They didn't even own their stuff. They got it back
now.
Yeah.
Right? Okay.
Well, they had to buy it back.
Okay.
Quality control label suggests stray bullet killed Takeoff. CEO denounces violent disagreements. So we know that yesterday, early morning, like 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock in the morning, one of the singers of the rap group, the Migos, Takeoff, passed away. He got hit by a bullet in his head and his neck.
They don't know where it came from, though.
Well, they keep saying that it's still investigating.
Okay.
But the Quality Control Music family, that's his record label, lost 1/3 of their hit group Migos after Takeoff passed away on November 1st. Amid the world mourning the rapper, QC and its CEO, Pierre Thomas, released statements addressing the unexpected death it caused and respect for Takeoff's family. It is with broken hearts and deep sadness that we mourn the loss of our beloved brother, Kersnick, I can never say his name, Kyrie Ball. That's his real name.
Really?
Known to the world as Takeoff. Senseless violence and a stray bullet has taken another life from this world, and we are devastated. The record label said, please respect his family and friends as we all continue to process this monumental loss. Isn't that something?
Because the other art, what's the other, is not Nipsey?
Nipsey Hussle.
Yeah, how did he got shot too?
The guy walked up and killed him. Yeah, that wasn't no straight bullet.
All of these rappers that are dying senseless is just unfortunate. Yeah, and sad. That their lives are taken. So, and they're young. They're not old. Okay, not to say older people should get killed that way, but if they were 70s, 80s, these guys are in the prime of their careers. Right. So it's just unfortunate to hear that he just being there. Right. That he got hit.
And it says QC's statement is the first definitive answer the public has received about how the rapper died. However, the source of the stray bullet remains unclear. That's what you were saying.
They're gonna find out.
Several narratives have already trickled onto social media as photos and videos of the moments before, during, and after the shooting circulated. That's why I told you it's
those videos really tight.
It's a cursing and a blessing that people are so much into this. But I feel like it's bad because again, people had their cameras out and was showing everything.
It helps forensic, to be honest, because if you always hear about the coroner that does they look at the body and where the body was placed and whatever, the bullet hit him a certain way. Yeah. They can trace where the bullet, the shooter was coming from, unless it came from, like you said, bounced off something.
Right.
But it looked like there was no walls or pretty much around them.
No,
right?
they was just there.
But so the bullet may have been straightly hit from him.
Yeah, it was a straight bullet.
Okay.
But the thing is that I can see people filming whatever, but the media don't have to show it. You see what I'm saying? Like, you can still film for the police. So, like, you can film
media, because you said this is people's social media.
No,
outlets.
well, that's what I'm saying, or the social media too. You don't have to post it. Put it that way.
Oh,
if let's say we someplace, right, and something happens, there's nothing wrong, I don't think, with me pulling my camera out and videoing it. But I should send that to the police if I'm going to really think I'm helping.
And not post it on Facebook.
Yeah, not posting it on TikTok and
think about
Facebook.
That. They don't think about helping the police.
I know.
They just want to show that they were there and they saw what happened.
Yeah, you're right.
That's sad.
So yeah, that's I'm too scared to hit this video. Let me
That's
see.
the video of
shooting. Make sure it don't show.
Hold on,
That's Takeoff. That's Quavo. You see how close they are?
Oh, wow.
That's before it showed. It's a Halloween party or a Halloween night. See? That's what it shows. They took out the part that shows him on the ground bleeding out.
We see.
But you see how they show, you see everything. Now the police should be able to look at that and know who was standing, who.
Videotaping that in, even that.
Well, they videotape everything. They had a part, you know, you had a thing, you videotape.
Because that's like a way before it happened.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
That's not nothing. People be videotaping at places and stuff.
Wow.
Yeah, you don't know no shooting is gonna start, but you there videotaping.
You may get shot with your camera.
Yeah. Aftermath footage shows a disturbing scene of distressed Quavo yelling near his nephew's body. That was the part that everybody was showing that they cut out. A pool of blood gathered near the rapper's head as his crew attempted to move his body, then decided against it. Police reviewed the 911 call about the shooting at the bowling alley place around 2:30 a.m. local time. Takeoff was pronounced dead at the scene. In a press conference Tuesday, the Houston Police Department asked people who attended the private event to step up and provide information regarding the shooting. No suspects or arrests have been made. So you get a lot of these people showing up saying, oh, I was there, but I didn't see nothing. Right. Or I saw, but I don't want to say nothing. Or because they keep thinking that that's called being a snitch. A snitch is if you're in the lifestyle and you talk.
What do you think? Because they know them, though.
If you're not in the lifestyle,
I'm not gonna say what I saw.
If you're not in the lifestyle, that's not snitching.
But don't you think it's called snitching because they may be close to them and they know why their purpose? They may get them in trouble saying that, like you and I were there,
right?
But just because I'm your sister, I may not be in that lifestyle that you're acting crazy in. But I'm your sister, so I may say something too much that may get you in trouble. So I don't want to say nothing.
But you can say, if let's say you want to help. You can call anonymous hotlines and tell them what's going on. You don't have to.
See, I don't want to get my sister in trouble if you had a gun too.
But imagine if that was somebody's brother or sister. Brother. You know, a cousin or something. See. Yeah. Okay. So that's what I'm saying. If somebody knows something, they need to call those anonymous hotlines and say what you know. But you don't need to. We can just look at the video.
That's what I'm saying. If they got, and then if it's more than one person did the videotape, then they can go ahead and look at angles.
They got all kind of angles.
They know who's there.
Yeah,
they see who has a gun.
Yeah.
So okay.
So another sad news that kind of got overshadowed because of Takeoff's passing.
Is anything coming up?
Yeah, it's on.
Oh, I'm saying as far as nobody. Okay,
girl, we moving on.
Okay.
Nigerian police questioning staff after 3-year-old son of Davido drowns in home pool.
That's another entertainer whose kid drowned, because O.J. Simpson's one of his oldest kids drowned.
A few days before this, he was teaching his son how to swim.
Oh, how did he fall? Did he fall in? Nobody was watching him?
Let's talk. A 3-year-old. He's only 3.
Oh.
A 3-year-old child has passed away after reportedly drowning in a family-owned pool. According to a BBC, a police spokesperson confirmed the toddler is David Adeki, I can't say his name, the son of African superstar Davido and his fiance, Roland. His passing away less than 2 weeks after the toddler welcomed his third birthday on October 20th. He just turned 3. At the time, Davido dedicated a sweet caption to his son's milestone on his Instagram page. I pray with all my heart that God grants you perfect health and pure happiness for as long as humanly possible. Davido wrote, you will grow to be greater than me. Happy birthday. A few days before the little boy passed away. See how that is? Look at that.
But they didn't say
he was a toddler, 3 years old.
You know they got...
Who is Tyler?
No, he's a toddler, 3 years old. Neither parent has publicly spoken on the passing as of November 1st. However, multiple reports confirm the drowning occurred on Monday. Nigerian claimed the parents were away when the little boy drowned at their home.
That's why they have to investigate this. Because if the mom and dad was not there,
it was the caretaker
who was not watching him. If they were in the pool with him and he may have, got away or something, they got to investigate this.
Here's what the Nigerian police is doing. Daily Mail reports that the little boy was underwater for a long time before being rushed to a hospital. The outlet also claimed the toddler was pronounced dead on arrival. The police command spokesperson, Benjamin, told the BBC that a domestic staff member at the residence called authorities at 10 p.m. local time. Also confirmed that 8 staff members were invited to the station for questioning. So it was that many people at the house.
And that little boy drowned.
In addition,
that is not good.
The police are reviewing the CCTV cameras to get additional details about the circumstances surrounding his death. If after they all give their own account of what happened and after preliminary investigations, if any one of them is found culpable, the person will now be placed under arrest.
Thank you.
They said that the BBC that the toddler's body had already been deposited at the morgue. Police have also been in contact with David and his wife last night. Davido and his wife last night.
Okay. That was the first thing I wanted to know.
How did he get in there?
Who was watching him or supposed to watch him?
And they had that many people in the house.
Oh, my God. If you as a mom and dad come home and hear that your child has drowned, the first thing, you are upset because your baby is gone. Then you start to think, okay.
Who's at fault?
Who's at fault here? Who wasn't watching him?
First of all, out of all them 8 or 9 people, who was in charge of watching him?
Yeah.
Because if I'm not in charge of watching him, I can't be in fault. If I'm the cook, I'm not going to be watching your 3-year-old son. God. So out of all the 8 people, which one was hired to specifically watch him?
That little boy. He is a little toddler.
3.
Oh my God. That angers me. That angers me because it's different than if it's a mistake.
They wasn't watching him. 8 people in the house,
It's different when it's a mistake while you're all in there together and the baby
or a party going on or something. Even though that's bad, but at least a party.
But nobody was watching him, and he got and then his dad has been teaching him, so he's curious.
So he's going to go to the swimming pool.
Yes, I've been in there with my daddy. I want to get in there by myself. Ooh.
So this is a lesson. It's a lesson to everybody.
Oh my God.
One is a lesson. I think, because we don't know how to swim.
Oh.
Every kid, in my opinion, should know how to swim.
Oh, my goodness, yes.
Even if you live in the hood.
Yes.
Because DJ Envy said they lived in the hood, and his dad, one of their friends or somebody, child drowned.
Oh, my goodness.
And he made them go to the YMCA and learn how to swim.
Yes, I would too.
So teach them how to swim, I think, early. Because you can teach babies how to swim.
Oh, my goodness.
They know how to float.
Yeah.
Teach them how to swim. That's the lesson to the parent. Also, if you have a swimming pool, you need to have guards around your swimming pool.
Either cover it.
You either need to cover it, or you need to have fences or guards around there so that if your child does get out, they can't. And that's anything, animal, whatever, can't get in the swimming pool.
Yes.
And then to the staff, if somebody hires you to do a job, do it.
Or even not, if it may not have been a hire, it could be a family member. That's their responsibility. If it was her sister or another kid, or oh my goodness. And I'm sure they feel bad. Yeah. Not only the investigators have to come in and ask questions, I'm sure all of those people that was in that house feel bad. Yeah. That boy died.
But I definitely don't think everybody should be held accountable, because it depends on what your job is. Yeah. If I'm there and I'm the cook, I'm really not going to be looking to make sure that your 3-year-old son.
I'm sure they still feel
bad.
Or
I would be thinking, obviously the person that's watching him is going out there. Well, you know what I'm saying? Like, I would be like, I'm still over here cooking. So you got to look at the cameras. Yeah. Or you know what? I'll kind of disagree with myself. If you're a cook and they look at the camera and you see him going outside and you don't do nothing about it, and they can visibly see you watching him go outside and you going about cooking, you in trouble too. Even though that's not your job. You're right. Even though that's not your job, you visibly see him.
Hopefully the cameras will show who is in fault.
Yeah, but
his child died.
Yeah.
Well,
accidents happen. Yeah. Accidents happen with parents.
Because let's just say, for sake of argument, somebody was watching him and he was having a tantrum. And he ran.
No, but he was in there for a long time.
Oh, see. Then that covers that one then. Yeah. I'm sorry.
Running is he fall in the pool. Yeah. You grab him and pull him out.
That's true. He was in there for a while, so nobody had an eye on him.
Ma, you don't know I fell in the pool. I keep saying Victor pulled me out the pool. You told me. My cousin.
Well, I was in Barbados. Yeah. I almost drowned.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I almost drowned when I was in Barbados.
So, Ma, you killed me almost. Yeah.
And you would have lost me when I was in high school, when I was in college.
See, somebody would have been saying, why weren't you watching me?
God was watching.
Yeah,
God was watching me too, because I was floating on what do you call the surfing board? Yeah. You know how you kind of lean on it and your legs be kicking?
And you fell off.
No, I was leaning on it and my legs was kicking. So at the time I was feeling the bottom because I was near the shore.
Right.
Well, I floated a little too far away and I didn't feel the bottom anymore. I started panicking.
How'd you get back?
One of the guys, the brothers of the sister that we were at their home, he saw me.
Oh, and then he brought you back.
And he came swimming out there.
Yeah, that's how Victor
grabbed me.
That's how Victor got me.
If he hadn't been out there, I would have drowned.
Yeah, Victor got me. I was little, like him, maybe 5. And I jumped in the pool.
And she laughs.
And I jumped in the pool because little kids don't know nothing.
That's true, Doc. You didn't know.
And I just kept going down.
You didn't even float.
And I saw a hand come up and pull me up. And it was Victor. And threw me on the thing. And everybody went back playing like wasn't nothing.
Oh my
I was like, I almost died. And then another time I almost died. Grown.
You jumped in the pool.
I jumped in the pool. Because somebody's kid, I don't remember whose kid.
Was it Wanda's son?
Might have been.
It was somebody.
He was little. And I think I remember that. I was like these people.
But it wasn't that deep though.
No, yes it was. I don't swim. That's 10 feet water.
I thought it was deep for him.
No, for me too. Little. No, I don't swim.
Okay. And how did you get out?
Let me tell you. We was dang on kid. That's what I'm saying. You gotta watch them.
Oh my God.
We was playing.
But you know what, Kim? In that case, I would have jumped in too.
No, hold on. We was playing. And we was in the shallow part because I can't swim.
But you was in there already, right?
He was in there.
Okay.
And we was all, I'm watching her kid. That's why I know I would die with the kid before I let somebody's kid drown.
I know.
I would just go on to heaven. Me and the kid would be going on to heaven.
Okay.
But he got that little boy. We was playing in the shallow part. There's a bunch of kids. He got out the pool. And I thought he was going to stay on the end and jump in. Like what he been doing.
Yeah.
He ran over to the other side and jumped in the deep side. And I got out and I ran. And I jumped in. I can't swim.
How'd you get out though?
And I jumped in, I grabbed him and I threw him over to the side. and somebody got him. And then I was drowning and I was doing what you did. I was flailing.
Get you out.
Nobody, I got myself out. I was flailing. My feet wasn't touching the bottom. And then I finally felt the wall. And then I just held onto the wall and worked my way up.
That was frightening, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was frightening. When you don't feel the bottom and you can't swim. Okay. You can't swim. We still need to swim. That's on our bucket list.
Yeah.
Why won't we learn how to swim?
I tried to. Remember, I went to the city pool and I was learning how to float.
Can I at least? You know what?
I got scared because I learned how to float, stomach and back, but I get nervous when I have to come up and just kick.
I'll take.
Because if I don't feel the bottom, I get nervous.
What I think we need to learn is float. I need to learn how to float.
No, I'm beyond the floating.
No, I don't care if I learn how to swim. I just want to learn how to float. So that if I get in a situation, I can turn myself and just float.
When you mean float, like float where you are comfortable knowing your feet can't feel the bottom.
Yes.
Okay.
I want to get to the point.
That's the point I got scared.
I don't have to know how to swim.
Exactly. Just
but
stay afloat.
I want to be where I can turn my back and just float to somebody come help me.
Yes.
That's what I want to be.
Okay.
So let's learn that at least. That's our bucket list.
I tell you.
But yeah, his son, with condolences to his family. We'll hear more about
the investigation.
And we'll hear more about the investigation. We'll let y'all know because this is interesting to me. I want to know who's at fault. And then that's sad, isn't it? Cute little boy.
It's not a family member, but...
People don't realize of God's protection over them.
Yeah. Yeah.
They don't even realize it.
Yeah. 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 We was in a lot of situations that we couldn't get out of.
Okay.
All right. Then the Shade Room talks about Dwayne Wade's ex-wife accuses him of pressuring trans daughter Zaya to change gender for his own financial gain. Now that's to me is stupid. But let's just go on and talk about that.
I thought he was pro.
I think she just
and what's going on. With
I think his ex-wife just got some problems.
Okay.
Dwayne Wade's ex-wife is claiming the former NBA star of exploiting and pressuring their trans daughter Zaya's gender identity for his own financial gain, according to court documents obtained by the Blast. I can't say her name. Funches, Siobhan. Oh, that's maybe Siobhan. Siobhan Funches Wade objected to multiple factors outlined in her ex-husband's petition to legally change the 15-year-old's name. Wade's ex-wife, Zaya's mother, claims he is personally profiting from her gender transition. You still got 4 minutes. She alleges Wade, 40, is positioned to profit from the minor child's name and gender change with various companies through contacts and marketing opportunities, including but not limited to deals with Disney. I have concerns that Wade may be pressuring our child to move forward with the name and gender change in order to capitalize on the financial opportunities that he has received from companies, his ex-wife added.
Okay.
Wade told me that he intended to make our child very famous due to the name and gender issues, and also informed me that there would be endorsements, contracts associated therewith. The public speaker further alleges, according to the report. Ex-wife even accuses Wade of dead naming trans daughter into court filings. So this is Zaya. So I don't know. With this one, the question that
is Zaya wanting to do this?
That's what I'm saying.
And he's just a way for her to do it.
See,
because Zaya could be wanting, like, think about it. He's married to Gabrielle. They have strong connections in the whole, entertainment world.
In 2020, Zaya was 12 years old. Okay. So that means what, 14?
And I guess she feels like she's still young, so he shouldn't be an influence in anything, even if Zaya wants it. I don't know. That's a tough one because I don't really understand what the concern is from the ex-mom. Is she saying that he's leading her on in her struggle and her coming out
and what she wants to do?
I'm supporting it. But you can also be a spokesperson for
and you can make some money off of it
and make money. So the mom could probably be thinking of it as you're kind of exploiting her. You don't have to do that. She don't have to make money off that. She can use a platform as a platform, but why money has to be involved?
Because if they want to pay her Disney and all of that to do that, then go ahead.
As a transgender spokesperson.
My only thing that you will always hear me say with transgender, I don't believe in any surgical anything until you become an adult.
Has she had this?
No.
Okay.
I don't believe in supporting that. I don't think parents should push that.
18 and over.
I think 18 and older. Now, if he's pushing a name, that's different.
Okay.
But if he was pushing her to get a sex change or something, I would disagree.
Oh, God, yeah. Okay.
I don't think anything should happen before the person is an adult. And then from there, because whatever decisions they make, they got to live with that for the rest of their life.
Yes. And they may still be too young, but their maturity level still may be too young to make a major decision like that. But I remember when Gabrielle was on The View, she's a mouthpiece in general. She's always a spokesperson for various things that's out there. I can see her and her husband kind of like encouraging
what the mom is saying.
Other girls, other people would feel like like you being the face of what you're dealing with.
So you think that his ex-wife could be on to something?
She could be on to something. Is that a bad thing you're saying? Her getting paid
I don't know if
for being a
that's
platform.
almost like, what's the difference between you have a child that's talented and you say, I want you to, Disney want to sign you or whatever, so I'm going to push you.
Is that exploiting?
I don't know.
Their talent?
I think it's exploiting if the child doesn't want it.
See,
and if they're not happy doing it.
That's the question.
But if the child is happy doing it and
if she is loving what her dad and Gabrielle is saying,
with it.
Ma, I want to be a mouthpiece. Ma, I struggled with this as a kid. I'm coming out. I want kids who feel like me.
Right.
So, okay.
And then being transgender is a whole nother thing other than coming out.
Yeah.
That's not even gay. That's like a whole nother. You got people that's transgender that still like what we consider the same sex.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm saying. That's a whole nother ballgame.
That's a whole nother discussion.
And then that's a whole nother discussion even on a spiritual level, what we was talking about. What? Because if you are a transgender, let's say you're a male and you transgender to female and you still like females, are you spiritually, are you wrong? You still like females. You don't like you like the opposite sex. See? That's a whole nother discussion.
I don't even know.
I know, see?
You can't even bring spirituality in it.
That's why I said the same thing with affirmative action and abortion and stuff. You're 60, I'm 54. I don't ever have to deal with transgender. I don't never have to deal with any of these things.
Or even personal
but
self.
Young people, these are things that you have to face. For the Supreme Court rulings, Congress,
but Sonny said
all of that.
Sonny on The View said personally,
this is your life, your future.
She felt like the Supreme Court is reviewing affirmative action. They've already did changes to the Roe versus Wade with the whole abortion rights and in the choice rights. They're messing with our voting rights. Yeah. She said next they're coming to the LGBTQ.
Yeah. So you're next. So that's just how it is.
Okay.
So again, my final thing on this is, as long as Dwayne Wade and Gabrielle are not pushing sex change, I'm fine.
Okay.
That's the only thing I have an issue with.
And if
I don't feel any sex change before you become an adult.
And aside from that, what you said as well, if Zaya is wanting to
she's wanting to change her name
with the
and all
whole
of that.
thing, Disney, whoever else embraces her.
Yes. Okay. All right, so that's that one. Black Twitter, Donkey of the Day. This is it. You want to know who Donkey of the Day was?
Yes, ma'am.
Black Twitter reacts to E! News mistakenly using photo of Offset to report on Takeoff's death. So E! News reported that Takeoff had passed away.
Yeah.
And they were showing photos of Offset. They didn't even have Takeoff. This Takeoff. They were showing all Offset's pictures. So they were saying, we don't all look alike.
You know what? Oh, my goodness.
And you reporting the man's passing away. It says somebody is getting fired at E! News mistakenly used a photo of Offset while reporting on Takeoff's death.
We all look alike. That's just wrong.
Takeoff, whose real name, Kersnick Kyrie Ball, was shot and killed in Texas at a bowling alley called A10, whatever, according to TMZ. Well, I don't want to read the story again. But anyway, they showed a picture of Offset. Oh, here it is. That's them.
Okay.
That's their post. That's Offset. E-News just posted and deleted Instagram updates of Takeoff's death and used Offset's picture, huh? Why aren't there knowledgeable hip-hop reporters reporting the news?
Thank you. When you not... That's very important because it's about someone's passing.
Exactly.
It's not someone just getting ready to put an album out or he's going to be in concert. He passed away. And you're going to put another man's face.
A picture of Offset.
Okay.
So, Charlemagne gave them... See, everybody an uproar. Black Twitter, we always say Black Twitter.
Donkey. So,
are y'all not going to at least apologize for this tweet? Migos rapper Takeoff dead at 28. Police give update on investigation. And it's a picture of Offset.
That's a picture of Offset. Okay.
Sad how y'all tried to be funny, put Offset's picture on the previous post, but now changed and won't even issue out an apology. This is how we know it wasn't a mistake. It was intentionally to target Offset and the Black community. I don't believe all that. Sick. Go to the hottest part of hell. Another Twitter user wrote.
You know what?
And you know Black people quick on conspiracies.
The hottest part of hell. I don't think you better not make no... They was just ignorant.
I know, but I'm saying, you know with Black people, you can't make it. It's going to be a conspiracy.
But why would a conspiracy even be for that reason?
Right.
That's just stupid.
Well, because it's always a conspiracy. That's what I'm saying.
We being funny. Let's put another rapper up there.
And that's why we said with George Floyd, when Kanye said, it's just another conspiracy. We said, no, hold on. See, Kanye went, Black people do conspiracies on everything.
Everything.
But when it came to George Floyd, we're like, we don't know. See, it's like, if you in the Black community, you know where the joke ends.
Yeah.
We can do your mama jokes,
yeah,
but it can't be real mama jokes.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
the real truth about your mama.
Yeah, like your mama is so hoish. She come in at 3:00 every morning and blah blah blah, and the person be like,
by 7 different men, and you like,
yeah. That's not a mama joke.
Seventh child. So what you trying to be funny?
So Kanye went too far.
I get it.
You can do this a conspiracy theory. Go ahead with JFK and all that stuff he was saying.
Okay.
But when he said, and then another conspiracy theory, George Floyd killed himself. And then all the brothers went.
Killed himself. You know what? The reason why that one didn't stick, because
we don't do all conspiracy theories.
Here's the thing. It couldn't have been a conspiracy theory because the major emphasis in that story was the police brutality.
Yeah.
So you can't even do no conspiracy there. Anything it would be still the cops.
Yeah, we didn't think that was funny.
They want to always put the knee on your neck.
Oh, and then he did again. That show you don't read the room. I said I wasn't going to talk about Kanye, but I'll end it on this.
Okay.
The White Lives Matter shirt.
Yeah.
I did it because it was funny. You don't know how to read the room. Everybody joking. Yeah, man, Black Lives Matter. Yeah, well, light-skinned Black man lives matter too. Put that on a t-shirt. All right, well, dark-skinned Black man's lives matter too. Why don't you put that on there? Mixed kids' lives matter. Well, what about white lives matter?
He need to stay in his lane. He's trying to be funny. That's the problem. He's staying in his lane.
That's not funny, man.
Oh, that ain't funny, man. Because white lives don't matter.
We already know they matter.
They matter, man.
We just being funny.
That's funny.
You don't know how to read the room.
Yeah, I see. I get it.
So that's that. Don't know how to read the room.
Okay.
So when they were saying this is a conspiracy that E-News put up,
purposely put Offset picture up, instead of Takeoff picture. That's a conspiracy, I don't understand what that could be. What could the conspiracy be?
Well, you know, brothers. That's what I'm saying. They always got to
mix us up. Like we don't know who is. We don't even know our own brothers.
Right.
I don't get it.
So that's going too far. Gosh. But we love a good conspiracy.
You know what? I think a lot of Black people, not all. So some of y'all, we don't want no hate mail.
Mm-hmm.
Some Black people, some Black people they've always cracked on us as being spooky and scary. Ooh, I don't know about going in there.
We don't go in there. They may
kill me. I'm just saying they take that and run with it. Black people have always a conspiracy on something. We're so afraid of so many things. Sometimes the fear itself will make up stuff. And you're like,
well, and another reason.
That's not a conspiracy.
Another reason why we have a lot of conspiracy theories is because there have been a lot of stuff done on us.
Well, yeah.
From the government.
We can prove it, for sure.
Tuberculosis, all of that.
And that study they did on syphilis.
All of that. All of that.
Being used.
Yeah. So that's why we quick on that. Yeah, we quick on a conspiracy
you put that black
theory.
man up there for the...
And then the latest one you heard with MLK, and I believe Coretta believed this one.
What?
He wasn't. I don't think you knew this. Martin Luther King, when he was shot at the hotel, and they took him to the hospital, he was still alive. And it was a white surgeon and a white nurse, they said, who ended up making sure that he passed away when he was at the hospital. One nurse or doctor or somebody said they saw him either put a pillow over his face or something. They didn't save him the way they were supposed to. That was the latest conspiracy theory. You heard that, Mom? Yeah.
Nobody's.
That's the latest one. And I believe, well, it's an old man, an old doctor that died that was like 80 something or whatever. He came out, and they always wait till they end up dying before they tell the truth. Yeah. But even if that is the case, that's awful. Then we don't know if he would have survived the gunshot, but we know if that's true, he was still breathing, that they did do everything they could to save him when he got there.
Well,
but
back in the
South,
we don't know.
They
didn't really care about him anyway.
Plus, people were saying that was a government thing, so they would have wanted him to go anyway. But that's a conspiracy. See, we got so many, which is fine. If Kanye wanted to do that, say that. We don't mess around with George Floyd conspiracy.
Yeah, because to me, that stems on the police officers and what we're trying to get a better situation with
and
them.
White Lives Matter shirts.
Because you messing up our whole
being funny.
You messing up the conspiracy, the cops not liking us.
Yeah, so
why would you mess that story?
So we don't want to hear that.
He died again. He killed himself.
He don't know how to read the room. So that's all.
God.
All right, so that was it.
Okay.
You have anything else?
No, that was it. We ended up.
All right, y'all. So don't forget to like, share, subscribe.
Talk about your water jug.
I did use my water jug today. You can find any of our items on our page, on our Woods. It's in the description. And always believe.
Always believe.
And that was another Woods Report. See you later.